Josie, what's taking you so long? Bring me the shoe! Quick now! It's shameful.
Fine lad you got there, haven't you, Yagna?
Seen what he pulled from the water? An old pot.
Mayhaps his lass wears pots for shoes, in case she can't find a privy.
You were supposed to fish out my slipper. Am I to dance now with one foot bared? 'Tis a wedding. I've got to wear slippers.
Oh, look, dearie, I did. Take there. Muck must have sucked it deep in.
Well, poke your paws in there. Rut for it. Rubbish game.
What's all this, then?
They're playing slip-in for a slipper. Never heard of it?
Never. Us gentry folk have other diversions. What's the object?
Maid tosses a shoe in the water. A man's got to dive in and fish it out.
And once I retrieve it?
Well, your maid'll be pleased as punch. Or it means you're a gallant beau. And awful handy.
Is that all? No prize? Not even a kiss?
That depends on the miss in question. If she wants to give you a kiss, she will. But she ain't obliged. Oh my.
Oh, there's more to come. Prime game. Shawnee, your slipper. I shall prove I dive to any depth for you. Just when you think you know all the plowfolk's customs, they surprise you with slippers.
So now the shock's faded. Perhaps you could stop talking and fish out my shoe, which I so unfortunately lost in the pond.
Damn mucky that pond. Sank in up to my armpits.
I see no amount of silt could keep you from my shoe. And all the other shoes ever tossed in the lake.
Always better to do a bit more and even gain naught by it than to do too little and face regret.
Oh, that's quite the theory.
One founded in practice. For instance, I can now approach the owner of any of these slippers, and she will lift up her skirt and bend over. To don it, of course.
Ah, so generous. And clever.
Just figuring that out? I believe I've earned a kiss.
Well, find the owners of those shoes. One might agree.
Don't be jealous, Shani. That was but a jest. I don't give a piffle about the others. Oh, well. Recognize this, Cinderella?
My shoe?
Now extend your supple leg and let me slide it in. That is, on.
Thank you.
Nothing like a good swim. Now we must do something else. Found yourself a perch from which to survey passing beaux.
What do you mean? My back aches from pounding the churn, so I'm having a...
And they said fire burns hotter in an old stove.
If I was your age, you'd be singing a different tune. Have you squealing like a kitty cat?
Gonna be a butcher when I grow up.
I shall do the impossible. I shall breathe fire. Mark this day, good folk, for your eyes will not witness a feat so daring anytime soon.
Do you want to be my boyfriend?
Yes.
My man carries his
Of all these flowers, you, my dear, are the loveliest.
Believe the young man's mistaken me for another.
Not at all. I like my women as I like my peaches. Fuzzy and well ripe.
That's enough. Get going. You're drunk and randy. Nothing good's ever come of that mix.
Look there, Shani. The ladder begs us to scamper to its top, where we can converse.
Then let us skate.
But how so? Just like that?
There aren't that many ways to... What a wonderful wedding. It's clear the newlyweds' parents spared no expense. Let's sit. Come now.
Just like that.
I'm all ears. What would you have us talk about? I'm sorry, converse about.
Well, when it comes right down to it,
Yes?
you see, the thing is,
Come now, spit it out. Yes, just as I thought. Come, it's time we return.
What's just as you thought? I find you intimidating.
Loudly lowing cows only ever give a little milk.
I've only ever dealt with simple maids, whereas you're a surgeon. I believe I was right not to just take you and... well, I was right to take the more romantic approach.
Oh, all right. Now come, we were to enjoy ourselves. Let's do just that. Romantically.
Hey, look at this one.
Sickly you look to me.
What a wonderful wedding. It's clear the newlyweds' parents spared no expense.
Handsome night.
Gingerbread's naught but flour, honey, eggs and spices.
I beg to differ, madame. You omit the most important ingredient in gingerbread. Time.
What sort of balderdash is he feeding them?
Quiet. If you listen, you'll learn.
Time? What do you mean, time? An ingredient?
Time gives the proper consistency. Time provides that ideal crunch on the outside, the delicious moistness within.
So how much of this time does it take?
That you will not find in any recipe. You must surrender to your senses. Let them lead you so close to time, you touch it. Let you sniff it, stroke it even. Time. Time is the key. Greetings, Shani. I must introduce myself. Gaunter O'Din. My, what a lovely dress. The color suits you exquisitely.
Thanks. I've heard a lot about you, but no one mentioned cooking. Seem to know quite a bit about gingerbread.
Quite simply, I know a lot about everything.
Is that so? What do you know about me?
That you were ever the worst brother. That you envied Olgierd from your earliest days and always wished to be just like him.
Wait, you can see me? That is, me, Vladimir von Everec?
Of course. Why ever wouldn't I?
Because I'm in Geralt's body, the Witcher's, and...
Just who would I be if the true nature of things remained hidden from me? Someone like you, meaning no one.
I wouldn't want to get blood on my damsel's dress, but insult me once more and...
You shan't touch me. I know you'd very much like to act like your brother in this situation, demonstrate how manly you are, but let's be honest, nothing will come of it. You're simply not him, no matter how much you wish you were.
Rubbish. I never envied my brother.
Of course you did. He was a shining role model. Olgierd ran faster, shot truer, lifted greater weights. Olgierd learned to read first, although you tried your damnedest to beat him. As you grew up, he had his pick of girls, whereas you made do with the leftovers.
I apologize, Shani. I'm rather sorry you have to hear this.
Stop fooling yourself. Shani isn't here for you. She's here for Geralt. Even after death, you still play the pale imitation. Oh, by the way, Olgierd's a much better dancer.
You lying dog. That's my brother. I loved him.
The question is, were you as dear to him as he seems to have been to you?
He made a hero of me in death. In my last battle, in truth, I was far from valiant. 5 came at me. I'll not deny it. I fled. I hid in a cellar, yet they found me. Cornered me like a rat. But Olgierd told everyone I flew at all 5. Took them on all at once. Alone.
I'm rather curious how you know all this.
Olgierd visits my grave. Often. Pours a drink for me. Gets soused himself. And talks of the old times. He cannot see me, but I hear his every word.
Well, perhaps one day he'll say something very surprising.
What are you getting at?
I shan't disturb you any longer. Have a splendid time, for time is short.
Shani, I'm sorry,
It's all right. That was... Oh, forget him. We're here to enjoy ourselves, right? Let's go. The night's still young.
All lies, not a word of truth.
Don't let it bother you.
Olgierd was not just my brother. More importantly, he was my best mate.
Let it go. And now, Revelon. Time well spent. I'll leave you for a moment. As a bridesmaid, I need to be by the bride for the capping.
Go on, Shani. I'll manage fine alone. Ladies and gentlemen, this night I've tasted of life's delights so fiercely, I've decided to make a speech.
Geralt, there's no need.
No need? Why, there's every need. Till now, I'd always considered peasant jollities unworthy of a gentleman. For tell me, who among you would rub shoulders with swineherds if born a noble? I delighted in the beauty of buxom farm wenches, of course, and indeed still do. Given more time, I'd prove this to each and every maiden here. Farmhands are a different story. Never took any note of them. Had one or two groom my mounts. They did this well, but were never worthy of conversation. Nay, not even if you paid me. For one must live by certain principles, am I right? But this day has changed all. Beneath the muck and dung, a peasant is a man. I understand this, thanks to you. You've still shite all to talk about, but I don't mind anymore. For this, I thank you, and say, you are well loved.
It's almost midnight. Time for the capping.
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh, yes, you are. All the maids join in the capping.
You're a maid too, Shani.
The midnight chime has struck. The capping times are come. What thoughts in young hearts prance? What dreams make young blood run? Be they nice, be they vice, of jestily or lordly stance, out they'll come in this hour's dance.
Toast the lovely couple, then give them a few weeks, and we'll toast their lovely bairn with its pale and puffy cheeks. Don't you mind our song? We don't sing to be unkind. We sing so we can empty yet another sign. Bride's one hope eternal, bridegroom best beware, or she'll make you a cuckold in the coming year. What's the groom a thinking? Storm upon his brow. Must be said, gallant, gallant, gallant cow. You'll get the cow, laugh the bull, the calf, the hay. So drink and be merry. 'Tis your wedding day.
Our tradition holds. Whoever caught the gallant shall be next to wed.
That really necessary?
It came rushing back in a torrent. How we caroused at Olgierd's wedding. I couldn't resist. Had to pen a few words. Will you give him the letter?
I will.
Thanks. You're a good chap, Witcher. Dull as dirt, but good. A lovely custom. Blushing maids, twirling in dance. Their hair swirling freely, their bodices undone. They're bouncing.
Will you stop?
Did you see it? Shani caught the garland. She'll be next to marry as peasant superstition has it.
Maybe. Doesn't matter. It's past midnight. Time for you to go back to the crypt.
I can't. I'm not finished here.
Is Vladimir's ghost gone?
You see? She asks after me. Misses me already.
I'm here, my ever-loving tulip. That kiss as we danced made my head so light. A team of hellish stallions could not tear me away before I receive one more. Or two more. Or as many as you'll give.
You seem to have enjoyed yourself. I'm glad.
A kiss. I knew it would end this way. An end that is but a beginning.
No, it's just an end. It's after midnight. Your time has come.
Ah, we needn't fret such trifles. Death's not come to claw me back, so why not continue our revels?
What's Geralt think about that? You gave your word.
Shani, darling, I'm dead. Can't expect too much from a corpse.
Vladimir von Everec, go back whence you came. Please.
Stay out of this. Stop! I beg you! Stop!
Get ye hence, or I'll take you with me, and your mouldy crypt will look like paradise in comparison. The choice is yours.
Don't torture him.
I promise he'll not die.
Gods, what is this?
Didn't have to make him suffer.
Of course I needn't have. But I could.
I hope you didn't hurt him.
I disposed of a pest. There was no need for you to suffer his cheek any longer. Geralt had finished his task, you see, so...
Yes, I know. As soon as he finishes one task, he needs to rush off to the next.
Who knows? Perhaps this time will be different. I saw you looking at each other, and it just so happens I also know the history you share.
You do? How?
Shani, darling, would you ask an eagle how it knows how to fly? Regardless, what matters is Vladimir von Everec will bother you no more.
I'd like to stay longer, but...
Don't make excuses, Geralt. I'm not angry. A Witcher has to ply his trade, follow his path. As for me, well, perhaps I expected too much of this wedding. Got the wrong impression.
Not sure I understand.
Never mind. I should find Aldona. I am her bridesmaid, after all.
Ah, there it is. The face of a man who's failed to understand a woman.
You understand her?
Of course. Women are simple. The problem is that men are hopeless fools. Your friend will now make a show of being hurt, pick her some flowers, or bring her a drink. She'll get over it in a snap.
Rather manage without your advice, thank you.
She cares for you. You have feelings for her. Don't overthink it. Surrender to spontaneous honesty. Nothing more beautiful in human relationships. You needn't end like Aldona and Jonas. Besotted fools bound by a contract they'll never escape. Seize the night. Seize your chance. Enjoy one another. That's it. Have fun.
Good mead ought to lift her spirits. A sip of something strong never hurt anyone. Question is, will it cheer her up? Here's hoping Shani's a happy drunk.
on there.
Radovid wants one currency for all the north. Means to squelch the dwarven coin changers. Dispense the
Make yourself at all.
You know the Ballad of Wanda, who spawned in Nilfgaard?
Still here? Thought you had to meet Olgierd.
You and I see each other so rarely. Figured Olgierd could wait till morning. Brought you some mead. Best medicine for a troubled soul.
Thanks.
Wedding's still in full swing, but your face, I'd say you were at a funeral. Why so sad?
Sad? Not really. It's just... After I caught the garland, I realized something. The years are flying by, yet all I ever do is study, pump stomachs, and reattach limbs. All alone.
You got me.
For how long? A day? 2? Don't get me wrong. It's nice, but you come and go. Yet I need someone who'll be there every night when I come home. After a day of bandaging wounds and sewing up guts, I need a good glass and a good laugh with someone who'll help me forget it all for a moment.
I get it. And yeah, could never be there for you every day. But I am happy to see you always. And today, I'm all yours.
Well, in that case, let's drink to tonight.
To tonight. May the moment last.
I'm afraid the drinks got to our minstrels. Horribly off-key.
Let's go for a walk.
Good idea. Did you enjoy the wedding?
Not half bad. Might have even enjoyed myself if I hadn't had to argue with a madman's ghost, be his puppet. Gotta admit, though, thanks to him, I did experience a lot of things I might have missed otherwise.
Mean chasing a dog through the woods, or brawling, fence board in hand?
Forgetting something. There was also a kiss.
Though that was so clearly Vladimir. I nearly forgot you were involved at all.
His will, sure, but my body felt everything. Reminded me of the old times.
Vizima, you mean? Oh, I thought you'd forgotten our whole Catriona story.
That was background. What I remember most, the mood, the feelings, the people I met. And those I met for the second time in my life.
You're right. I was up to my elbows in work, but those were good times. They're nice memories.
For me, too.
You needn't worry about our finances, sir. My workshop, business is booming.
Good. I'm relieved to hear it. See, coins tied to Torrent. But don't tell the old battle-axe. She'd be furious if she learned to let it slip.
Never you worry, sir. My lips are sealed as the grave. Us menfolk need to stick together.
Sir. Enough of that. I'm Vassy. But you can call me Dar.
Oh, thank you, Dar. I feel honoured. Let's drink on it.
Seems the families are bonding.
A bride's father and his son-in-law? Stiff at first, but add drink and they bond or slap each other silly.
I was afraid the wedding wouldn't happen at all.
Mean the differences in wealth?
Mm-hmm. Jonas's family didn't consider Aldona worthy.
Clear they love each other, though. Parents usually give in if that's the case.
Oh, I don't know. My mother would never accept an unfit beau, even if I insisted I loved him, had chosen him.
What kind of beau's unfit?
So far, every kind.
You only ever bring home fiddlers, jugglers, and witchers?
No, but she'd want me to choose someone wealthy, or with a good trade, well brought up.
Nothing wrong with that, is there?
I guess not, but it's hard to find one like that who's still even slightly amusing.
That's probably true.
Tell that to my mother. She actually thinks I should have found a husband at the academy. But I didn't. Ugh. I'm certain she thinks there's something horribly wrong with me.
Oh, please, Shani. It's the 13th century. Women don't go to the academy to find a husband. They go to learn, pursue their passion. You did that. I'm sure your mother appreciates it. You got a doctorate, have your own practice, been at the front lines many times. You're a good person. Not a thing wrong with you.
Really think so?
Really. Look, the brave brothers.
Drank themselves stiff as the boards they tore from the fence.
Wonder where the sister is. Couldn't protect her from a cheeky 4-year-old in their condition.
Well, if they hadn't intervened, you'd have gone for a tumble in the hay with her. She was willing, if you ask me.
I wasn't in the mood. Would have resisted, tried to regain control.
I think you would have seized the opportunity.
I don't need opportunities like that.
And changed your style.
Let's say I've grown choosy.
You say that as if you've already picked.
'Cause I have. Guess who?
Ooh, gorgeous.
Been thinking about that kiss.
What kiss?
The one Vladimir planted on your lips, with my lips. Just wondering if it would have felt any different without him there.
That I cannot tell you.
Only one way to find out.
So, how'd it compare?
Definitely rather kiss you alone, of my own free will. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe Vladimir was after more than a kiss. Said so openly, in fact.
All true. He was very direct, I'll give him that. Which, on occasion, has its advantages.
You're right. Can save a lot of time.
So, how do you stand today, Geralt? Have some time to waste with me? Or would you rather go back now?
Promised you this night. Aim to keep my word. And I aim to be direct. Even more so than Vladimir.
Sounds interesting.
Interesting is what interesting does.
Rats.
Here's taken.
Got a feeling it's about to free up.
How did you know?
I'm clairvoyant.
Practically full.
Be ashamed to let it go to waste.
Besides, we leave it here, a very drunk person could find it, drink themselves into even more trouble. And I swore a solemn oath. First of all, do no harm.
You're the medic. Recommendation? Hey, leave some for me.
We need to drink fast, before they catch us. Come on, let's hide. Row me to the moon.
Gotta fly to get to the moon.
You're dead wrong. Look, it's right there, in the middle of the lake. What are you doing?
What one usually does on the moon.
Sorry.
Was it that bad? Or have you developed an allergy for me?
I had too much to drink.
Awake already?
For a while now. Did you know you've gained 27 new scars since we last saw each other?
Keeping count?
Mm-hmm. I do that sometimes.
Did we make it to the moon?
Forgotten already?
No, not the sort of thing you forget.
Exactly.
Sound like you wish you could.
No, I certainly won't forget that. And I definitely don't regret it. But I do need to sort it all out in my head. Alone.
Shani, wait. Before you go, need to ask you a favor.
Yes?
It's about Olgierd. Seems a mysterious man. Can't escape the impression his story's more complicated than I thought. Could you look into it? See if you can learn something?
Sure. Be glad to.
Thanks. Be seeing you.
Yes. See you later, Geralt.
One glance tells me all I need to know about you.
Devils take every man jack of you.
of the serpents. One drop of his venom will kill an army.
Cage not a bit small. Beast can't even...
Interesting basilisk you've got there.
Course it's interesting. Won't see a beast like this anywhere near here. They spawn only in the wild wastes of Zerrikania, from eggs laid by cockerels.
Cockerel eggs, you say?
Yeah, and what cocks they are. Lift their rumps like brood hens to other cocks. Eggs laid by such a cockerel must be brought to hatching by 101 venomous vipers. Then the young basilisk pecks its way out.
This basilisk is interesting, because it looks exactly like a wyvern. Young one, and ill-fed at that.
You talk nonsense, sir. This here's the most truest of basilisks.
Right, what do I know? I'm just a witcher.
Hold on now. If that's no basilisk, but some wyvern, what did I pay for? Give me back my coin, cheat.
Brave soldiers, don't push, or it'll... Whoa, watch out!
He's a quick devil!
Guess the cage was as fake as the basilisk.
One word and they'll clap you in the stocks. I'd enough of this job.
You'll choke to death on 3 pounds of steel.
I'm a witcher! Hi-ya!
Slow now. Whoa. Slow now.
Black pudding cures any hangover.
Herring's got to turn and mix from time to time. My fists are itching for a fight.
What are they doing?
Playing. Overgrown wains, you see. Have you any children, Geralt?
None.
Oh, yes. Forgot witches are sterile. Well, don't just stare at me. Tell me what brings you.
First time I've seen a saber like that. What's its origin?
A fear. It was a gift. Any soft-armed craven can hang a blade from his belt, prance about feigning danger, but my saber's a promise. If I reach for it, heads will roll. Mere sight of it quells the urge to duel, in shavers eager to face Olgierd von Everec, the infamous outlaw.
My medallion seems to think it's magic.
It thinks, eh? And I think you've never seen a better weapon.
You ever play Gwent?
An immortal demands you fulfill 3 wishes, and you've the gall to propose a round of Gwent.
Afraid to lose? No problem. I'll find someone else.
Believe that's the worst wind-up I've ever heard. Lay out your cards. Shite. Not much I detest more than losing. Well, my congratulations. This card's yours.
Thanks. Keep wondering how you turned the Ophiri into a beast. The more I think about it, the more I'm sure it was no run-of-the-mill curse.
This professional curiosity, or nosiness as common as the clap?
Desire to improve. Information could prove useful down the line.
In the future, you under the delusion you'll complete your tasks, live happily ever after.
Remains to be seen. So for now, admit it. A mage helped you, right?
Give you a hint. You're not the only one to fulfill wishes round here.
O'Dim transformed the Ophiri? It was your wish?
Nay. It was my doing alone. But you're right. It was no ordinary curse. Though I'll say no more. A curse I uttered in a moment of rage, with no thought to it actually taking hold.
Your band. Chosen some interesting specimens.
Interesting? How so? Common carousers and roughnecks. Every last one.
Where'd you dig them up?
Some have been with me ages. Others I gathered on the road. And a few found me themselves. They're company for drink and sport, at least. And ever since I began travelling with them, my old enemies have sat quiet as moles.
Tell me, how'd you meet the Ophiri you turned into a beast?
Aren't you a nosy one?
What's it matter? You like to talk about yourself.
That I cannot deny. Ophiri was a Dauphin on a voyage through lands unknown, to learn of their cultures and customs. He fell for a lass. As it happened, this woman was already important to me. But at the time, I was naught compared to a noble from a foreign land. So her parents promised her hand to the Ophiri, though she loved me. If you'd only seen his feeble attempts at charm. When she asked why he travelled disguised as a common merchant, he said he was like the frog from the fairy tale. One kiss from her, and he turned into a prince. Wanted to be a frog. Became a frog.
Vladimir sends his love.
You spoke to him? Impossible.
Did more than that. Fulfilled your wish. And talked to him extensively. Curious what he had to say? Fulfilled your wish. Your dead brother had himself one more day like those of old.
Very easy to say. But have you got any proof?
I do.
Vladimir's hand. It's unmistakable. You've done well, Witcher. Is that all? Or have you something else?
Gonna work on getting you Borsodi's house next.
Best of luck. Enjoy.
That'll do me.
Viva Radovid!
Run, Roach.
You get a lovely pallor like yours.
It's generally tidier back in Coffee.
Not so fast, Roach.
Greetings again. So, you got a job for me, an interesting one.
You're in luck. I actually do have a special order for you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Mark my words, you'll be satisfied.
So long.
Everyone to
Faster.
me! To me!
Reek's here.
Ooh.
Time I went back to sea.
Giddy up.
Well, the Witcher.
Our townhouse, in Vizina's trade quarter. It has a red roof. Do you know if it still stands?
Why does he need two swords? Does he tend to use them?
You won't be as cocky once the Baron's men whip your arse.
Geralt of Rivia.
Ha! Sit with us, Witcher.
Found your message on a notice board.
You see, Palmerin? I told you. The griffin at White Orchard. I knew that were we only to follow the tracks of its slayer, we would in the end find Geralt.
Milton de Peyrac Peyran and Palmerin de Lawnful. Good to see you both. Been years.
Be assured, we share your joy.
You must forgive us our, surroundings. When we pledged to place the village under our protection, the village elder gave us this hut as our lodgings. He swore it is the best hut in the village.
Get involved in some squabble?
We discovered that in retreating, the Redanian garrison that left this land still is at the mercy of numerous plagues. A tyranny of bandits the most onerous among them. These plunderers shall soon descend on this village to collect tribute. Milton and I will dissuade them.
We are both sworn to fight injustice and oppression wherever they rear their heads. The matter does not concern you, of course, but do us the kindness of waiting. Once we have dealt with these marauders, we have a matter we must present to you.
So, plan to go out and meet the bandits when they arrive? Fight them?
Palmerin wishes first to appeal to their sense of decency. But I expect they will be deaf to this.
Yeah, completely.
We must afford them a chance to stand down. Many a hardened outlaw has left the path of wrongdoing upon hearing words of admonition.
Doesn't happen in these lands. Ever.
If they do not heed my reprimand, we at least will know we have done all within our means to evade bloodshed.
Fine. Naturally, I'll help when Palmerin's rhetoric falls on deaf ears.
Excellent. Then we've but to wait for the rogues to arrive.
They's a coming!
Hear that? Your bandits have arrived.
Let us go out to greet them.
Hark, contemptible curs!
He mean us?
I, Palmerin de Lawnfall, call upon you to repent. Search your hearts. Do you not see that they are blackened?
Regular Punch and Judy here.
To prey upon commoners is no honor. To loot their meager stores, abandon the path of shame, and we will spare you.
Right good jest, that. Had us a laugh. Now, fuck off or we lose our patience and you lose something else.
Nay, wait, Zorg. These lads are a lark. Mayhaps they know some tricks.
Oi, players! Can you toss balls all loopity-like? Or do that thing where one spits fire while the other farts?
Noble Palmerin's giving you a chance. Now I'm gonna give you some advice. Do what he says.
Or what?
Or you'll find yourself fighting knights errant in the pay of the Duchess of Toussaint. And they eat scum like you with their morning porridge.
Well, there's 3 of them. 2 turtled up in armor. We'll come back later.
Some wench sent them. Folk will say we's afeard of wenches and jesters.
Ooh, insulted the Duchess. Not good.
Indeed, we cannot let the affront go unpunished. I swear upon the Heron you will pay with your own blood! By the crane, villains, ready your arms!
Go for the whore's son's eyes! Instead of filling your scum, for the glory of her grace, I shall make the deal!
Damn it.
Why do they not emerge? It is over. We have banished the scoundrels, lifted oppression's yoke from their lives.
Warned you it'd be like this. Fear you as much as they did the bandits now. Sorry, no fanfares and flowers. You're not in Toussaint.
Ah, it is true what folk claim. In the north, no noble deed goes unthwarted. It is time to go home.
And we shall, my friend.
Come, Geralt. It's time we delivered our message.
So fess up. What brings you such a long way?
We are to deliver Her Grace the Duchess's message in full, with all due ceremony. For tradition
is sacred in Toussaint. All right, fine.
Most honorable Geralt, slayer of monsters and all evils nefarious, which prey on the defenseless of this world. Whereas never have you been known to deny help to the innocent, nor leave widows and orphans to fates undeserved. Answer you now our present summons. Free us from the beast which floods our streets with blood, and sows panic in the hearts of rich and poor alike. Come to our aid, Witcher. Thus humbly beseeches you the Star-Crossed City's most gracious protectress, Her Illustrious Highness, Duchess Anna Henrietta.
Shall you answer her call?
Might be the most fervent request that I take a contract ever. And the most polite. And now we've got all that behind us. I want to hear more about this beast. Some kind of monster? Just guessing.
Most assuredly, though no one has caught a good look at it as yet. Our only sure witnesses. The bodies massacred in a brutal, horrid manner.
Look, some sketches drafted from descriptions given by those who claim they glimpsed the beast.
each quite different. To my mind, these witnesses lie.
How many victims so far?
2. When Her Grace learnt of the second, she discharged us immediately to fetch you, promising grants of land and fortunes in gold, should you answer her summons.
An ill wind blows, Geralt. The beast cannot be tracked. Folks say it wields black magic. Also, both victims were nobly born, and the start of a tourney draws near.
Beast wields black magic? What makes you say so?
The first victim vanished between bites at a feast. Of the feast-goers, none noticed this. They saw but an open window, then heard desperate cries from the street below, where a corpse had just been found.
The second killing, similar. A night in a locked room. Servants all about the house. Guards all around the estate. Yet the beast somehow got him out, dragged him to the town square, and killed him there. No one saw, nor heard a thing.
We have no fear of creatures against which sword and shield protect. But of this beast, nothing is known, save that it cannot be traced, kills effortlessly, and with no rhyme or reason we can discern.
Anyone tried to hunt it? Knights errant, for example?
Ha! Many have tried. Baiting, waiting in ambush, but to no avail.
The beast is clever. It evades all traps and attacks of a sudden. It is like a ghost.
An experienced tracker. This is what we need, with knowledge of monsters. In short, we need you.
Mentioned a tourney. Why doesn't the Duchess just call it off?
Simply, it is too late. The guests have arrived. The best knights of all lands, relatives of the Emperor. The beast could be a threat to others, not just to Her Grace's subjects.
Got it. Before an aristocrat dies, at best it's a scandal. At worst, a diplomatic incident. I sometimes think back to all the contracts I've ever taken from sovereigns. Can't name hardly any where I came out ahead.
You cannot be thinking to refuse.
No. Just struck by a thought. How the Duchess can sometimes be... demanding.
So you accept the contract? Excellent!
We must set off at once. We long wanted this land searching for you. Yet time is of the essence.
Ready to go, soon as you're packed.
Ha! Then post-haste to Toussaint.
To Toussaint! Toussaint, the land of love and wine.
Exactly how I remembered it.
You will find Beauclair has changed some these past years.
Walk about when you have the chance. You will see for yourself.
To me, place always seemed straight out of a fairy tale. Knights errant, elven palaces.
You insinuate that we are somehow odd? I shall prove you wrong. This I pledge on the Heron!
For my lady! Guillaume, watch out! I kill a monster!
Big beast. Tackling it single-handed? None too wise.
Neither is love born of wisdom, Witcher. So, Guillaume, out with it. Which fair damsel inspired you to vow to kill that filth?
The most beautiful among them.
If he wishes to guard her name a secret, he need not reveal it.
You I do not know, sir, nor seem you a knight, yet still I am profoundly grateful, nay, indebted to you for your succor. This trophy, sir, is yours.
A giant this close to human settlements? Strange.
Well, that was no ordinary giant. His name was Goliath, rumored to have been a knight once, but one who broke his vows. For this, the Lady of the Lake transformed him into a wild giant and banished him into the Gorgon Hills.
So he came back down? Why?
Several times each year, hunger chased him into the lowlands. Goliath had killed and devoured many shepherds. Guillaume's hunt served a noble cause. At any rate, it's a tale for more agreeable environs.
I'll take the trophy. Why not? Could find someone who'll pay to buy it. Put up a good fight against the giant. Got experience battling monsters?
None. In Toussaint we mostly chase bandits. But I vowed I'd bring my heart's champion the head of a monstrosity, as the famed Gottfried, known as the Giant Killer, did.
You don't mean to hunt the beast, I hope. The matter's best left to Geralt.
Another challenge awaits me. Yet if Geralt is to hunt the beast, he ought to know. It struck again. The river surrendered a corpse. It washed up in the meander by the cockatrice. Damien de la Tour's guardsmen are there already, securing the area.
Securing the area? Better go there now before they trample any tracks, manhandle any evidence.
Set forth, then. I shall ride for the city to inform her gracious magnificence that Geralt has arrived. We'll meet later, near Guillaume's tent at the Tourney grounds. I shall take you then to see her grace.
That's it, Roach. Brave kid, Guillaume.
Parmerin oversaw his upbringing. Guillaume is his kin.
Can't get used to the way you knights talk, especially how you switch back and forth between flowery and, well, near normal.
We are knights errant, in the service of her gracious magnificence. When we appear in her name or speak on her behalf, we are bound by tradition.
Whoa!
No one here. They must have removed the body already.
Let's look around. Make sure they didn't miss anything. Hobnailed boots, multiple sets of prints. Ducal guard, clearly. Let's see where they went. Walked along the shoreline.
Perhaps the body lay on the bank.
Anything taken by the current ends up in these shallows.
Yes, the stench is fierce.
Got guests. Careful.
Hola! There is Carlos Boots!
Drawn here by the smell of blood. Let's keep looking. Only blood-soaked scraps left of the victim's clothing. Good quality cloth.
A wealthy victim, correct?
Looks it. Blood. Guardsmen pulled these nets out of the water, then cut the mutilated body free. Gonna dive in, make sure they didn't miss anything. Only blood-soaked scraps left of the victim's clothing. Good quality cloth.
A wealthy victim, correct?
Looks it. Nets were attached here. Silk kerchief, monogrammed DLC. A noble's accessory, clearly. Need to comb the bank. Notice anything interesting?
Alas, nothing.
Look, a boat was launched here. Guardsmen must have loaded the body parts onto it, taken them somewhere. Need to find out where. I'd like to look at the corpse before it starts to decompose.
The inn. Its patrons must have seen the guardsmen, which direction they took. We should ask there.
Seems we've got ourselves an audience.
You think this surprising? The locals will tell the children of children they do not have yet, of the day a quartered corpse was pulled from the river.
One thing. Found a handkerchief in the water. Monogrammed DLC. Mean anything to you?
Delacroix? It cannot be. Was it he the beast slew?
Seems so. Knew him well?
Long past. We were close friends once, but our paths diverged. He was a man of extremes, standing by his companions no matter the odds, fighting his foes to the bitter end.
Foes? You have a lot of them?
He did, but I do not see what that has to do with the beast. Ah, Geralt, you've struck a raw nerve. Memories of a time long past, to which I'd rather not return now.
I understand. We can talk later. Let's go to the tavern.
I shall have to leave you soon. Return to court.
Barely got back to Toussaint.
A knight in the service of Her Illustrious Highness knows no rest. In fact, I'd feared I would return too late to fulfill my duty. Yet it seems I've arrived in the nick of time. Once you have finished examining the corpse, be sure to report to Anarietta.
Anarietta?
Her Grace, the Duchess. I forget myself at times. We address each other by our first names in private. Never in Pomrin's presence, however. He finds such familiarity offensive. A watering hole for traders, smugglers, boatmen. But you will find no better crayfish chowder in all Toussaint.
The beast. Killer from the north.
Oh, what?
With no lads brave enough. Of course we have. But bravery's not enough against the beast. It wields dark powers. That cause.
By my troth, could that be the musty scent of fresh pâté?
Naught else, Sir de Peyrac-Peyran. I see time has not dulled your senses.
We would be honored if you would join us. Your companion as well.
But why do I not detect even a whiff of crayfish chowder?
No soup today, on account of there being no crayfish. I reckon you've not heard, but all I caught was a corpse. I awoke at the crack of dawn, as I do each day, but when I looked up, I beheld a blood-red sky.
This corpse is precisely why we're here. For the man whom you've invited to join you at the table was summoned from a far-off land by Her Gracious Magnificence. He is tasked with tracking and killing the beast.
We invited two men to join us, yet since Sir de Peyrac-Peyran in temperament is more akin to hare than hound, I surmise the other is the hunter. With whom do we have the pleasure?
Like Milton said, I've come from the north at the Duchess's behest to deal with the beast.
Yes, but who are you? A knight? A mercenary? A soldier?
Geralt is a witcher, a master of his trade. He has questions for you about the beast's most recent victim.
I was the one to find the corpse. The sun had just risen when I awoke, sat straight up in my bed, looked out the window, and beheld a sky red as blood.
Ask, Geralt, please, or we shall be here till winter.
Must have been early in the morning. Went to check your nets and then...
I stepped out of my hut and saw...
By my troth, to the point, man. You found a body ensnared in your crayfish nets. We know this already. What happened then? Did you see anyone nearby? Did you spy anything noteworthy? Anything at all?
Not a soul around, just me. As for noteworthy... well...
What did you see? But be warned, if I hear the sky was red again...
I saw a head bobbing, eyes bulging, the tongue blue and popped out. Next to it, a hand rocking upon the water.
Get a good look at the body parts?
They gave me such a fright. I bolted to town fast as my legs would take me, then returned with guardsmen who told me to keep out of their way. They had a hard haul. The parts were so tangled up in my nets, they were forced to cut them.
Need to examine the body. Know where they took it?
They ferried it across, then loaded it on a cart and hauled it to a cellar at Corvo Bianco to keep it cool, see?
What? Why, Corvo Bianco is Baron Russell's estate. When he learns they've turned his cellar into a morgue, he'll set his hounds on them.
While you were gallivanting about the north, his vineyard was auctioned off.
Who was that? Woman who just left. Didn't see her before. Didn't notice her walk in either.
Doubtless Linnis, the innkeep's daughter. But hold, Geralt, because this is an outrage. Russell's vineyard was auctioned off? Inconceivable.
It is no secret the Baron had gambling debts up to his ears. It finally came time to collect. His creditors auctioned off his property. The Ducal Chancellery bought it, in fact. Russell now bunks with his brother in Vicofaro.
I told Russell he'd get his comeuppance. How long can one throw on past heroics? His creditors must finally have to find that his promises meant nothing.
Such are the times. Today's knights are pale shadows of the heroes of yore.
It's true what they say. God sent the beast to punish us for straying from the old paths.
So folk think the beast's divine punishment.
Knights have turned their backs on the old customs. Where they were defenders of the duchy, they're now defenders of their own tushes.
Why, you insolent...
Let him talk.
The Duchess trades in titles, grants honors to ill-doers. We've strayed from the path of virtue, lost the gods' favor, so the gods sent retribution.
Don't listen to that nonsense, Geralt. It's rehashed street preacher codswallop.
Yes, the rebel rousers have been sprouting up like weeds lately, each offering the same bill of goods.
They say anything else about the beast? Besides it being a messenger of the gods?
The Toussaintois are no fools. They see clearly the beast kills on days honoring patron saints.
Picky monster. Thanks for the hospitality. Time I examined the corpse.
Corvo Bianco lies a short way from here, near the tourney grounds. Just follow the road and you'll arrive.
Not coming with? Oh yeah, duty of some sort calls.
Some sort? Her Grace bestowed a great honor on me, even before we departed for Velen. I'm to play the hare during this year's game in the Palace Gardens. When you see me in my costume, you will wet yourself laughing.
A little tempted to ask a few questions, but it sounds like a long, complicated story. One involving lengthy digressions into local history and tradition. So, see you later, Milton, and good luck.
Dear fellow, with a fish hook like that, you must have your pick of the ladies. Normally, I'd encourage you to try our famed fisherman's chowder. But alas, we are all out of crayfish.
Could replace them with something else. Perch, for example.
Replace crayfish with fish? I beg you. What next? Vinegar for wine? Parsley for thyme? Huh? Your nordlings are a pleasant lot, but about cuisine you know nothing.
Got any gossip? Fishermen talking about anything interesting?
Yes, about a Nordling who would replace crayfish with pike.
Asked a serious question.
And a tactless one. I do not eavesdrop on my clients, and I certainly don't repeat anything I chance to hear.
Show me what you got in stock. Not likely to taste your famous fisherman's chowder, so maybe we could play some Gwent. Thought I knew them all. Guess I was wrong. Must be a one-off. Message on the back, signed by a certain Count Monnier. Invitation to a tournament. Interesting.
Oh, dear fellow, with a fish hook like that, you must have your pick of the ladies.
I see ears here, but lips are shut.
The Butcher of Bluffican, called to be the savior of Tucson.
Barbaric last.
Ducal clerks looking for help. Could be good coin to be made.
Out of my way. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Sounds of a fight. Have to hurry. Damn it. Killer must still be here. In the cellar. Gotta be. Footprints. Small, bare feet. Lead deeper into the cellar. Hurled against the wall with great force. You. Saw you at the inn. Why'd you kill these people? Clearly wasn't for their blood. We don't have to fight.
You are wrong. I cannot let you leave.
Killed all these men to get to the body. What was she doing at the table, though? Stinks. Waterlogged. Both hands amputated. Body was quartered just as I thought. Third hand. A spare? Except it's clearly not the victim's. Guardsmen must have not noticed it as they picked everything up. How's this possible? Still warm. Blood still flowing? Several monster species can regenerate. Never heard of that happening to their severed limbs, though. Or of their limbs seeming completely alive after so much time. Examine the tissue more closely later. Might learn something. Laid in water for some time. Head swollen, and something took a few bites out of it. Something in the throat. A pouch, bulging with coins. Nilfgaardian florins, from several different provinces. If the murderer did this, means we're dealing with a sentient thinking beast. Body was chopped up after death. Blows struck with great force, but bones sliced through, not crushed. Creature that killed him had long claws, sharp as a witcher's blade. First sank its claws into the victim's heart. No Bruxa did this. So, murderer was clearly a monster, but not a Bruxa. But then why'd the Bruxa come here for the severed hand? And who does the hand belong to? Why the hell's it still warm? Now, pouch shoved down the victim's throat. What's the significance? And why was he chopped up into pieces? Lots of questions, no answers so far. Need to know about the other victims. I'll ask Palmerin to get me in to see the Duchess. Move it. Not so fast, Roach.
Ah!
Race!
Give it. That's it, Roach.
Giant belched forth raw salt.
Keine complaints.
Stop
No
it,
praise
Roach.
and high praises.
Please give him one sauce. That one is never hungry.
Good day.
At his side, the old best Goliath, to restore peace to the land.
Need to speak to the Duchess, urgently.
All right, you scamps. Store is done. Go find your parents.
But the Palmerine, what about the story of Rittik and the dragon?
They're tales for another time. But take a good look at the man who stands before you now. This is Geralt of Rivia, the master witcher who lent his valiant hand to the defeat of the giant Goliath.
Master Witcher, is it true virtue always trumps villainy?
Not always. Could go either way. Sometimes virtue wins, sometimes villainy gets the upper hand. Still worth being good.
But why? If it doesn't mean you'll win.
Palmerin's story. Think back. A decent man attracts other good folk, makes friends he can count on. A rogue? Well, he can only count on other rogues. And who would you rather have for a friend?
A man of virtue?
I must agree. Now, that will do for questions. Go find your parents.
Her Enlightened Highness has doubtless arrived at the tourney grounds to watch the battle in the arena. If we hurry, we'll be in time to speak with her before the spectacle begins.
Lead the way. Who's fighting? Nilfgaardian gladiators?
Close, but not quite. As you will soon see.
Someone's gonna fight a Shaelmar? With only some bells on its tail to confuse it, slow it down?
Whatever is the problem? The beast is a gift from the Emperor, no less.
Shouldn't torment the beast. How would you like to be dumped in an arena, blindfolded with a string of bells dangling from your ass?
Pity a monster. You, a witcher?
I slay monsters who are a threat to humans. You're out to humiliate one to entertain a crowd. No knight will gain any glory from this. Who's going to fight the beast?
Guillaume, the young man you met.
Yeah. Mentioned he'd promised his heart's capture a monster trophy.
Great love demands great sacrifices.
Let's go.
I dedicate my imminent victory to fair Lady Vivian.
It's begun. The fight shall have to end first. We must wait.
got a bad feeling about this. Damn it. We have to help him.
For honor! Onward!
Gotta keep it down.
On Nightwing, the beast heaved its foul girth, let loose the roar, and knocked him to earth. Then down came the Witcher. His up. All our hopes are lost and turned to dust. The fate of the beast has been weighed by the gods. Soon the Witcher shall triumph against all odds. So the time is due. The world's gods take fun. Struck the monster like fool. Like a bow who leaves at the love's first spurt, so the Witcher wooed the Selma and its foul heart. The Selma lies defeated by Geralt of Rivia, master of the witchering trade. Behold, as the last gasps of life seep from the beast.
Master Geralt, do what you must. Finish the deed!
Monster's no threat. No need to kill it.
A victor may always show mercy. It is his right. Long live Geralt the Merciful! Pikeman, see to the beast.
Guillaume.
The lad came damned close to dying.
I'm fine. Not hurt at all. Vivian?
Smile as befits a hero and keep silent. Speech clearly paints you. She approaches.
Geralt, we must talk. Vivian.
You shall talk later, in the medic's tent.
Geralt, magnificent, breathtaking.
Your Grace.
We knew that to summon you was a brilliant idea. We are delighted, ravished to have struck upon it.
And I'm truly, honored.
See to our young hero. Hop, hop. For we must make off with Geralt. We should talk. We had been long awaiting your arrival. Had nearly lost hope. Then suddenly, that entrance, so spectacular.
Your Grace. Shaelmars are dangerous creatures, even to knights in full plate armor.
Nonsense. In Toussaint, knights have battled beasts for mere glory since time immemorial. True. Guillaume suffered a few bumps, scars, and bruises, but in return gained eternal glory as he who slew the monster.
What about the crowd? Say the Shaelmar had vaulted into the stands. Would have been a massacre.
Geralt, though we value your fortuitous intervention in the arena, we would remind you your services have been retained, and as shall soon become clear, you will be generously compensated for completing another task altogether.
Your Grace, my contract. I'd like to discuss it.
Naturally, but not here. We shall need Damien. He led the investigation pending your arrival. But wherever could he be? Come, we must find him. Tell us, have you come alone? Or did Viscount Julian accompany you?
Wish to see Dandelion, Your Grace?
Yes. I mean, no. Yes. But solely to tell him we regret. Yes, deeply regret rescinding the death sentence we so justly handed down upon him. If we could turn back time, we would make certain he sat in a tower till he rotted. No, we would ensure he was broken on the wheel, then drawn, hanged, and quartered. Ah, the very man we would entrust with these tasks. Damien de la Tour, captain of my personal guard.
Your Grace. Witcher.
Greetings. Sorry to have to tell you, but the guardsman handling the last victim's body...
I know already. The creature in the cellar of Corvo Bianco. Was it the beast?
No. A Bruxa, a kind of vampire. Not the beast, but tied to it in some way.
You know this how?
Through careful analysis of the evidence, both on the riverbank and at Corvo Bianco.
Do you mean to insinuate the investigation thus far has been sloppy?
Geralt insinuates nothing of the sort. We must listen to him attentively.
I examined the body of the beast's last victim. Might have found something. Need to analyze it. A quiet place, that's what I could use most right now. And maybe the help of an alchemist or a mage. Also like to hear all you know about the previous victims. Take it Sir de la Tour is my man for that.
Firstly, call me Damien, please. Secondly, you should know I spoke against summoning you here. I've heard much about you. You bring trouble, or thus far have, always. And we've enough trouble as it is. Yet we are capable of defeating the beast on our own, without an outsider's help. I've no doubt about it.
Damien, we settled the matter of the Witcher's employ some time past. Definitively. Since you have broached it nonetheless, let us discuss Geralt's pay. Are the legends true? Do Witchers usually demand that which you find at home, yet did not expect?
Not quite, Your Grace. Law of surprise, it's something we invoke at times, but rarely. Usually we just take gold.
Disappointing. This law sounds rather romantic. On the other hand, on returning to the palace, we would likely find impatient petitioners or a set of sample fabrics for a new dress. Poor rewards both. I fear you'd not have much use for any of the surprises we are likely to come upon. Thus we've decided you shall receive the deed to a vineyard, Corvo Bianco, and a sum of coin. You will doubtless consider this adequate. Title to the vineyard shall be given to you at once. Surely you'll need lodgings while you hunt. The coin, however, will be yours only once you have slain the beast.
Lovely, generous gesture, Your Grace. Corvo Bianco. Isn't it the Duchy's temporary morgue?
Is it now? The Chancellery's bungled things again, we fear. Not to be left unsupervised for one instant. Yet, in its mood, a morgue should present minimal problems to a witcher. What's more, nothing enhances a wine's reputation better than a grim legend.
Thank you, Your Grace. I accept the contract, of course. But as I said before, I'll need some information. How'd it start? Who was the first victim?
Crespi was the first to die. He was famed once for his many glorious tournament victories. Then he grew old, hung up his sword, and took to winemaking.
Crespi was not loved by the wine merchants. He was ruthless in business and thought to cheat many a time. He asked us for a dispensation from all court ceremonies. We did not grant it. We could not. Once you've taken the oath of a knight, you remain a knight till death.
How'd he die? Where'd they find the body?
Quite unusual, the circumstance. He was at a feast when suddenly one of his fellow feastgoers noticed he was missing. The town watch found him an hour later. On his hands and knees, propped against the town pillory, his sword hanging from his neck. He had died of wounds inflicted with claws, not a weapon. Blows of great force.
So he died suddenly, but the body was on its knees, meaning someone posed it.
So it seems.
Second murder. Tell me what you know.
In the city there are certain nooks. No one reasonable ventures there after dark. Ramon Dulac's corpse was found in one such place. With the first murder, terror gripped the city. Its inhabitants grew wary, kept to safe areas. Consequently, news of the second victim came to us from a group of concerned cut-purses.
Criminals fear the beast? Telling in a way. Take it you've excluded the possibility that Ramon died at the hands of these bandits.
Do you believe me an amateur? Not hands, but claws killed Ramon Dulac. The wound was deep, clean.
His body was found in a gutter, dressed in nightshirt and cap, a pillow placed under his head, and his sword replaced by a bed warmer. Ramon Dulac, a knight who but a dozen years past was an advisor to our father, the Duke.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to make him look ridiculous. Maybe revenge was the motive.
It's not out of the question. Dulac had shady dealings with the criminal underworld, but no one ever came forth with concrete proof of any misdoings.
So, first two victims were knights, best years behind them.
The same could be said of the third. Sir Delacroix was wont to claim that in modern times knights face new challenges, enterprise being the latest addition to the chivalric virtues.
He made a veritable fortune in the grain trade. Palmerin even nicknamed him Sir de la Stinchi.
Found a coin pouch on his body. Contained florins dating from various times, hailing from different provinces of the Empire.
Delacroix loved coin, true, but had no patience for numismatics.
Lots of similarities between the victims. All the bodies were found in strange places under extraordinary circumstances. Seems the murderer, whoever or whatever it is, has some meaning to convey.
These were honorable men. We are horrified by the disdain, the disrespect with which they were treated. These were knights of Toussaint. Blast it.
Might be the point. From what you say, none was a model of virtue. Ever considered that's what the beast's trying to draw attention to?
All the murdered men were knights who swore fealty to the 5 chivalric virtues. And even if the...
Knights of Toussaint swear fealty to what virtues exactly?
Honor, wisdom, generosity, valor, and compassion.
5 virtues. Why are they so important to your knights?
Strange question.
Your Grace, forgive me. I'm a foreigner trying to understand another land's customs.
You are forgiven. According to legend, the virtues we cultivate were bestowed upon us by the Lady of the Lake. How we truly came to espouse them, none remember. In Toussaint, we believe men of low birth should be simple-hearted and obedient. We expect much more, however, of our knights. They are to be soldiers and courtiers, lords and servants. Thus, the need for clear moral guidelines. At the time of his dubbing, a knight vows to demonstrate throughout his life honor, wisdom, generosity, valor, and compassion.
Beast seems to be pointing up moral decay, denouncing it. Victims were all humiliated. Might have been murdered to emphasize their lack of specific chivalric virtues.
Honor compromised by the pillory. Wisdom by ridicule. Generosity by a coin pouch shoved down a throat. It seems to fit, true, though not perfectly.
Can't discount the theory if it's on the lips of everyone in town. Say our reasoning's right. Next murder will be just as showy and denounce the victim's lack of the 4th virtue, valor. We can also assume that victim will be an elder knight.
Let's think. At the moment, all the knights are either at the tourney grounds or in the palace gardens. Our annual hare hunt shall begin there shortly. Have you heard of the custom?
Milton mentioned something. Seemed excited to prance around in a bunny costume. Not sure why. Hang on. Strange circumstances. A knight advanced in years. The famed cowardice of rabbits.
Could it be that simple? Is Milton de Peyrac-Peyren the next victim?
Milton also knew Delacroix. Told me so down by the river.
Damien! To miss something so obvious. De Peyrac-Peyren, Crespi, Delacroix, and Delac formed a knightly team. It was years ago, but...
They were a team?
They were close friends, tightly knit, and as such earned the trust of our father, the Duke. We often witnessed him turn to them with delicate matters. Later, their paths diverged.
Unlikely to be a coincidence. Beast must know it too. It's a lead, I'm sure. Your Grace, we need to find Milton, immediately.
Rather problematic. You see, the garden entertainments are due to start, and he's disguised as the hare, hiding somewhere, waiting for some tipsy courtiers to find him. The hare's hiding place is a carefully guarded secret.
We must call off the game, at once.
First and foremost, we must remain calm. Damien, order the garden searched immediately, but discreetly. By no means can we disrupt the festivities. Panic will only incite the beast to strike sooner. And you, Witcher, follow me. My gardens, my night, I shall take the fall. A murder is out of the question. I will not allow it. Not near my palace. Horses? Ready our horses!